In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 20 of the best Christmas items to be sourcing this holiday season. And pro tip, if you were watching this video after Christmas, do not skip by this because holiday items are a hot seller year-round. We're going to be diving into the exact items to source, and I've jam-packed this video full of pro tips so that you can source the best items out there and maximize your profits as a reseller. Hey, I'm Lee Meyer, and I'm the founder of Listing of Freedom and the Empowered Reseller. And I help clothing resellers make more money without hustling harder. Let's get started. So I am so excited to be sharing these items with you. If you're new here, my name is Lee Meyer. I'm a mom of four, and I've made well over $100,000 flipping used goods on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And used clothing has been a big part of reaching that success. While this video does have some clothing items that we're going to be talking about, it's not going to be entirely focused on clothing because there's so many other things to be selling this season. But if you'd love to know more about the brands that I source and sell on a regular basis, you're going to want to check out my free brands list, which you'll find the link down here in the description below this video. And if you're looking for an income stream that is a little bit more passive and has a lot bigger potential, then you're going to want to check out my 6-figure blueprint. You'll find that down here in the description below this video as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I've got these items all ready to go for you. I'm going to be jumping on over to my computer, but I do want to say that holiday items do sell well year around. Holiday items will sell well in July, in February, continually throughout the year. They are selling well. They do more volume around the holiday season, but do not pass these items by if you find them in the off season. Go ahead and list them. I never recommend holding onto items and waiting for the right season. Go ahead and get them listed. And chances are, if you're watching this video, or maybe you're outsourcing in February or March, and you come across some of these items, go ahead and grab them and get them listed. And most likely they're going to sell right away, maybe sell, well before the holiday season even approaches. With that out of the way, let's go head on over to my computer and we'll get started. All right, I'm over here at my computer ready to go. I think I actually got carried away and have more than 20 for you. I think at 23, I'll see once I go and edit this what we have. So the first item that I have is actually holiday houses. Everything that I'm going to be sharing in this video and this is actually a really good pro tip to be able to research items for yourself. I actually did filter this down to a certain threshold. So I put in a $50 minimum. So that way we don't have to sort through, those lower ticket items that we're not so concerned about. This is a really good way to identify items that are a higher value. You can certainly set that higher, but I just set this for 50 just for demonstration purposes. And then everything that I'm going to be sharing with you should also be already filtered down to that used condition. I guess I did not have that one quite ready. So these are holiday houses, and there are some really popular brands in this. As I scroll through these, you're going to see what some of these are selling for. So Department 56, that is one of the most common brands. You can actually see that if you click over into the brands, and you can do the same process on your phone if you're using the eBay app as well. In this, you're going to see the brands listed out here. This is really tiny, but next to these, there are little numbers, and this is going to tell you how many of that brand. And so this is a really good way to be able to identify certain brands within, whatever category that you're searching in to see which ones are the most common. But you can also scroll through here as well. So we've got Department 56, that's a big brand, and then Lennox, not just for holiday houses. You're probably going to see that in some of these other items that we're going to be talking about as well. There's another Department 56 Snow Village. That one sold for $130. We've got a National Lampoon. This one was listed for a $1,000, $999.99 plus shipping. I'm actually going to show this to you here in a second. But what this is, so this is a Department 56. I want to show you kind of what that looks like on the bottom. So that 56 is in a circle. So that's what they use for their logo. That's kind of what that looks like. But the way to be able to tell that how much this actually sold for is to come into your seller hub and then research and product research. And you can do this again right from your phone as well under that seller tab and product research. And you're going to be able to put in that title. So what I did is I copied and pasted over the title from this listing. So I just came in here and went, and you have to get it to where there's a cursor. Okay. And then go and copy that, Control C on a Windows computer, which is what I have. And you're just going to copy and paste that into the search bar. This is probably the best, easiest way to do this. And then you're going to be able to come down here and see the actual listings that sold. Some of them are selling for a lot more than that. So I found the one that was listed right here for that $9.99. They actually took a best offer of $600, which looks substantially lower. I don't know if it has damage compared to these other ones, because we've got one here for $1,500, another one for $1,000, another one for $1,150. So this is a really good way when you see that best offer to be able to find out what it actually sold for. The next item on our list is Precious Moments. So I did put in Precious Moments Christmas. And these are all of the items that are coming up. This is a little figurine that sold for nearly $100, $99. Another one here where a best offer was accepted. We could go through that same process, copy and paste in that title and be able to pull that up if we wanted to see the exact amount. There's a Advent holiday calendar. This one sold for $99. That was in new condition. Let me actually just go ahead and change that really quick right now. So used, and then that way we'll be able to see the exact used items that sold. But there are so many items in this category that are Precious Moments items. One of the brands that you're going to see is this Hawthorne Village. So they do, make this. So I think I actually have this pulled up here for you. This is what that tag looks like on the bottom. So it does say Hawthorne Village, and this is an example of that Precious Moments. This one's a coffee shop, and that one sold for, it looks like $99. The next item that I have is Nativity Sets. So I did pull this one up. This is, let me just double check. Oh, this is not down to used. Let me fix that. So this is used condition. And then these are all of those items that came back, as sold items. So this one right here, that is that Kirkland Signature, like from Costco. This one sold for $86. I remember seeing this in the store. I don't remember how much it was for in the store, but I'm guessing, $86 for a used, used condition. Here's another Kirkland Signature, $75. And we've got some Waterford crystal. You'll see that in some of these other items that we're going to be talking about as well. Here's another, blow mold Christmas tabletop set. So this isn't even like a yard one. This is for your table. That one sold for $600. Here's another Kirkland Signature. That one sold for $155. So anytime you come across a nativity set, go ahead and check that out. Here's, some other items from Hummel. And you can go through, this is a really good way to be able to do some research. Here's another, Precious Moments. That is a nativity set. This one sold for $75. All right, next, this is Willow Tree. And with this one, these items are so popular. Oh, let me show you this. This is actually before we go ahead and go over there, this is Royal Dalton. So this is another brand that you're going to see frequently across these items that we're looking at. That's kind of what the tag looks like. Or that marking looks like. It's a little bit blurry, but that's there for you. And then, so where were we at? All right, so Willow Tree, this is another one where you're going to find a lot of items that do really well during the Christmas season. This one actually sold for, $250. So that's what that looks like there, just a few pieces. If you come across those individual pieces, you could go ahead and list those as well. But if you do come across a set that these are selling for, several $100s in most cases. All right, so the next item that I have is Demdaco. That is another, I just threw that up there because that is another part of Willow Tree. All right, the next item that I have for you is Disney holiday items. So I just put in Disney and then I put in holiday and seasonal. So we're in that category. We're actually under collectibles. I could have, actually, why don't we do this? Because that's only bringing up 73 items. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's going to open up the category a little bit more. And then Disney holiday, I could have put in Christmas. So we're already down to used. This is going to bring up all of those items that match those keywords. So we're going to see like this Disney sorcerer here. You're going to see this Christopher Radco again. That's a designer to be aware of. And then there's just so many items within the Christmas category for Disney. We've got a a sweater here. This one sold for $70 from Forever 21. Like that probably wasn't that much in the store. So you can go through see what items are sold. Here's a Mickey and Minnie Pilgrims. This one sold for $90. Not quite Christmas, but close enough. And here's another sweater. This one sold for probably $50 to $60, I would say, after that best offer. So you can go through and just see like the amount that these items are selling for. Here's some Disney ornaments. These ones sold for $59. It looks like Beauty and the Beast, some Aladdin that sold for $59. This is a Disney Waterford crystal. So that is what that mark looks like. If you do come across any Waterford when you're out, all of that is selling for, a pretty good amount. This one sold for $50 for just like a little tree ornament. All right, next item. This is the Christopher Radco that I just mentioned. There are multiple items, multiple types of items that you may find from this designer. So there are balls, or holiday balls. I'm not sure what you call them, Christmas tree ornaments. That one sold for $800 for 4 ornaments. This is a Christmas castle ornament. That one sold for $92. Here's a Kwanzaa King is what they call it. I don't know if that's a keyword. $75. Here's a truck. That one sold for $50. Here's a teapot. This is actually a Halloween teapot. That one sold for $55. So just be on the lookout for anything from this designer, from Christopher Radco. And then if you happen to find anything from this designer that was done for Disney, then that's going to be like, basically extra money, like this one that sold for $800. Here's another set of ornaments. This one went on auction for $137 after 9 bids. This is kind of what these look like. They look like, hand painted. They almost look like your kids did them, right? Different. These ones happen to have different years on them. So 2000. What do we have? A 2001 in there. So that's what those look like. Next item is I just put in Christmas ornaments, just in general, Christmas ornaments, anything. I didn't stick in a brand here. This is a really good way to be able to just look through and see what types of items are selling, any brands that stick out to you. So we've got this one, MG reindeer hula skirt. That one sold for $75. I see a Swarovski crystal. That's another like one to come across. If you come across that, grab that. Here's 12 vintage pink. I'm actually going to go ahead and open this up so we can take a little bit closer look at this. So these are vintage, ornaments. Here's some more here, active listings, but I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down so we can see what this sold for. This $70, 18 bids on it. And this is what these ornaments look like, mercury glass. So definitely vintage there. So if you do have those, maybe from a parent or, whoever, maybe in your own house, or maybe you come across these at a garage sale, thrift store, go ahead and grab anything like this that you see. Next item is actually from a brand that is called Ryan Spooner. If you have not heard of this brand, it is a men's wear brand, and they do make, shirts, but not just Christmas is where I'm going with that. So not just Christmas items, but their Christmas items do especially well. So let's go ahead and take a look at what some of these are selling for. So we've got one here that sold for $67. They're all going to have Santa on them. They're going to have some sort of Christmas theme on these shirts. Here's another one with, it looks like, I'm not sure, $50 that one sold for. Here's another one for $35. Here's another for $49, $60, $40. That bigger sizes in this brand do a little bit better, but this is definitely something to be hanging on to and waiting for the right buyer. So this one, sold for $39. We've got another one down here. They're both size large. This one sold for $89. And I'm actually going to go ahead and open that one for you so you can take a look at what that tag looks like. And this is kind of a little bit of a close-up. So you've got Santa out there surfing, which is awesome. But these are kind of just shirts that I guess you either like them or you hate them, right? And so, but there is a really big following for these, and definitely something to be on the lookout for. I've seen multiple times that professional resellers pass these by, not knowing what they are. This is another design here. Let's see that this one has Santa in it too. Let's see if I can find a tag. So that's a little bit different tag than what I have actually seen before. So that one's a little bit new to me. This one had a tag that I've seen before. So Mele Kalikimaka, Hawaiian and Christmas, I think is what that is. So if you see that, that is what that tag looks like. And then down below it says from Ryan Spooner. And then I've got one more tag there for you of get a little bit maybe farther zoomed out on that to see what that is. Next item that I have for you, I just went ahead and typed in men's Christmas shirts. I know those Ryan Spooner, like those are really popular, but I wanted to get a good idea of what other men's shirts are out there that are selling for over that $50 mark in use condition. And I actually got some really good ideas from this, going through this exercise. So this one is a Star Wars shirt. That one sold for $75. I believe I did. Did I put in button-up shirt? No, it's just L shirts. Okay, yeah. So we got t-shirts here. The Nightmare Before Christmas. I keep seeing Nightmare Before Christmas popping up over and over again. So the $100 there. Here's another baby metal t-shirt. I really got no idea what that is. That one sold for $80. We got some Bon Jovi. We've got a vintage. This is actually $45. A lot of vintage t-shirts. That one sold for $175. We got another Nightmare Before Christmas. Another Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm not sure why those are so popular. Looney Tunes. Like this is, Tasmanian Devil. This one probably sold for $50. I see a best offer was accepted, so we would have to do a little research to dig a little bit deeper to find what this actually sold for. But it's just, a t-shirt. I guess it's a sweatshirt, crew neck sweatshirt. That one sold for like $50 just because it has Tasmanian Devil, just because it's, an older t-shirt or older shirt. That's what that tag looks like because it is vintage. All right, next item. These are elves. No offense if you like these, but I think they are a little ugly. These are rubber pixie elves. That's what I put in to be able to pull these up. And these are basically rubber. They have rubber faces. I actually think I have one pulled up here for you. So that's what it looks like. It's got that ugly rubber face. You do notice like this one has some stains. I'm not sure if that frame, if that was supposed to be there. It looks like pretty roughly cut along the edges of that hat. Some of the stitching that you're going to see looks pretty like hand done. I think I've got that here. So like that whip stitch along the back, it's actually coming out. There's a little bit of holes. There's a stain there. And then this is how much I actually think this one sold for, $60 in that condition. Here's another one that sold for $100. And this is a brand that's called Rushton, is the brand that I keep seeing pop up on this. Here's a lot of these that are, not necessarily from that brand. There's a whole bunch of them that somebody put together in a lot, 12 of them. And this one sold for $93 after 20 bids. We've got this one I think is actually a string light set. That one sold for $60. Here's another one of those Rushton ones that sold for $60. But like these are kind of hideous in my opinion. Here's another huge lot of them. This one sold for $241 with 29 bids on it. So, obviously people want these. Obviously, maybe they're collecting them. I'm not sure, but people are buying them. So if you do come across this, don't limit yourself to only things you like, I guess is the point of that. Next item is vintage Hallmark. And I did take out Hallmarked because I was getting some jewelry coming up back. So I did remove that. So to just be able to see Hallmark items, I thought it was really interesting going through here, some of the items that are being sold. So these are some die cut Santa, just figurines. That one sold for or not even figurines, like paper, right? These are those sold for $73. We've got a globe. That one sold for $55. We've got vintage Christmas cards. Like this is a box of vintage Christmas cards. You do not know how many times if you're out shopping at the bins, you come across cards like this. You come across boxes that have been donated, unopened. Maybe they're open. Maybe a couple are used or gone. But to be able to find these and used or like vintage, and that sold for $75 for a box of cards that somebody probably paid $1 for back in the day. This one happened to have 24 in it, so $75. Somebody's paying about $3 a card on that. We've got another huge lot here of 130 cards. It looks like that one sold for $72 with 12 bids. But you can go through here and just see, like, get some really good ideas for things to be sourcing. So this is definitely not an all-inclusive video. I've tried to include some of the best things, but this should get your wheels spinning when you're sourcing and going, okay, yeah, there's a market for these types of items. We've got more vintage card boxes. These are Snoopy. These ones sold for $50. We got some Hallmark ornaments. These are collectors, ornaments that you would collect probably one per year. And here's a whole bunch here that are listed. Let me go ahead and scroll down here. So this is what these look like. That one sold for what, $70? Yeah, $70 there. And the next item that I have for you is actually Christmas items that are from Japan. So I noticed when I was doing this research for this video, that I kept seeing a lot of Japanese items popping up. So I wanted to just pull up these items where they are actually made in Japan. And so these are vintage items, but you're going to be like in shock at the price that some of these are selling for. So there's this box here of, I'm going to go ahead and open this in case I don't have it open, but these are some elves that are sold. Let me see if actually, no, I don't. Okay, so these are a box of little elves. These are like, that's what they look like. That one sold for $70 for that. Somebody wanted that. There's these Noel. I'm not sure if they're snowmen, what exactly they are. These ones sold for $506 for 4 candle holders that say Noel. This is what the box looks like. If you do have something like this, maybe you're in your grandma's attic, wherever that is, that's what that box looks like. And then I think I had one more for you. So that's what that, where it says made in Japan. And then that's what the tag looks like on the bottom of these, where it says MG Japan. That's for this brand right here. That's that brand right there. All right, next item that I have for you. Okay, there's those elves. Next item that I have is Spode Christmas. Now, this is super popular when it comes to diningware, servingware for Christmas. This is one of the most common brands that you're going to see when you're doing research, when you're looking for sold items. I have come across this, believe it or not, at Goodwill outlets. Now, if you've got a Goodwill outlet near you, your pricing may be a little bit different, but for me, they price their glass super cheap, like 25 cents, 29 cents a pound for the glass items. So I have been able to pick single items like a pitcher or something smaller up for like 50 cents for that. I'm not sure why they didn't try and sell it online or whatever, but actually a few times I have seen Spode like in good condition in a box, like no flaws. So that is something to be on the lookout for and know that it is out there, it does exist. And this is some of those items that are selling. So this is looks like maybe a little candy bowl or something like that. One sold for, or cake stand is what it says, $75. Any kind of sets, if you come across a set, certainly put those together. You may want to break them up if it's a lot, like 8. That's probably going to be pretty heavy to ship. You might want to split those up. Here is looks like a cookie jar canister. That one sold for $60, but this is a very collectible item where people want to be able to add to their collection or want to be able to get other items or replace items as they break, whatever. So this, that one, $230. I'd love to see how much that actually sold for. This is what the tag looks like. If you have not seen Spode before, that is what that looks like on the back. And then Royal Worcestershire, I'm totally saying that wrong. I'm not even going to attempt. Stick with me though, because I have another brand like that is not some kind of fancy brand. So hang with me. This is another kind of a common brand that you'll see when it comes to Christmas items. And so this is what this one looks like. So let me see if I can get that pattern. So this one happens to have like the red ribbon around it. And then on the back, that's what that stamp looks like, where it says Royal Worcester. I'm not going to attempt. Made in England. And this is the Holly Ribbons design is what that one is in for that listing. Okay, so this is where I want to show you where you doesn't have to necessarily be Spode or the brand that I just showed you that I'm not going to say. This is actually a plates from Sears. These sold for $100 for this set. Somebody, there was a market for those. Somebody wanted these and they wanted, to be able to have these plates. That's the design. Like that's what it is. $100 for that set of 8. So that was Sears, but there are other, there's going to be other brands out there that are like that. All right. Next item is vintage stocking kits. So these are craft kits where you're gonna, this is actually a pretty good picture of what these look like. They're gonna be in a plastic bag, and then they're gonna have all of the pieces in there. Like they're gonna have the felt, they're gonna have a needle, they're gonna have the thread, they're gonna have the pattern to be able to complete that. So that's what that looks like. And there are multiple different brands. One of the most common brands that you're gonna see is called Busilla. This is a really common vintage brand. I actually think maybe they do still make items, but these are what some of these are selling for. Like this one with the angel, $80. Here's another one with Santa and Frosty. That one sold for almost $100. Like these are stockings that are not complete. Here's another one that sold for $150. It looks like Santa with some animals. Here's another one for $62. This is actually completed. I'm going to show you that here in a second. But most of these that are pulling up right now, these are sets that are not completed. So this one is, $100 for that kit. And so that kind of leads me to my next point on these is that when you see these items that, maybe they're opened, maybe they're started. I've gotten sets like that where they're started, and that's fine with me. Like there's only so much selection when you're dealing with vintage items. But I did go ahead and pull up vintage Christmas stockings, and you're going to see some of these in here that are already finished. So here, for example, we've got a Busilla stocking. It actually looks like 2 of them that are already finished. Those ones sold for $60, not quite as fancy of a design as some of them. Some of them have a lot of beadwork, a lot of needlework. Here's that completed one for $62. Here's some knit stockings sold for $60. Here's some needlepoint ones. Looks like a lot of 5. That one sold for $100. I'm actually going to go ahead and put in Busilla completed stocking, and we'll see what comes up. But these do sell, in completed condition for, okay, so 75, I was going to say close to $100. So $83. There's that same one, $70, $80. Here's one that sold for $225. So that is, already completed. That's not in the bag. Somebody is paying to have, to do that work. I've actually made 4 of these for each one of my kids. So I know that is definitely worth the time that goes into making these. So those are completed stockings. I'm actually going to come back to this one. This was just a bizarre one. The next item that I have for you is actually, did I skip one? Pottery Barn. I cannot put a list together for Christmas items without mentioning Pottery Barn, because that is one of my favorite brands for just home decor, home items in general, and their Christmas items sell especially well. And so it could be linens, it could be, a variety of things. So here is a serving platter. This one sold for $95. We've got a nativity set. This one, actually not even sure if that one is why that pulled up. I'm not seeing Pottery. It could be Pottery Barn. I just don't see it in the title. That one sold for $65. Here is a plate, serving platter, sold for $85. We've got some ornaments, another, here, a sheet set. So this is where I'm talking about linens from Pottery Barn. So this sheet set that sold for $79. We've got another holiday sheet set. That one sold for $80. We've got king sheet set here. Big mouthful. That one sold for $89. So any kind of Pottery Barn items. Here's Pottery Barn holiday ornaments that sold for $80. Ugly Christmas sweater. This category is can be a little bit saturated. So you need to be sourcing the right items, which is basically vintage, nothing new. But these are vintage items that sold. Again, these are all filtered down to over $50 because I wanted to just weed out those items that are selling for $5 or $10. This is going to help be able to see, what items are worth selling. So here's an example. This one sold for $60. It looks like it has unicorns on it. We've got a Harry Potter one. What else do we have? Here's some more vintage. So this one, $85, a vintage tiara international. So this is a brand that I do come across very regularly. So with this, I'm trying to show you what the tag looks like on this. It's not kind of one that would maybe jump out at you. Tiara International. So that is what that sweater looks like there. And then that one sold for, $66 basically. And then Storybook is a brand that you're going to see that does well for their sweaters, but not just Christmas sweaters. They're very themed sweaters, but I did pull up Christmas. They do have a Halloween sweater here that did come up. It looks like the lister put Halloween and Christmas in the title. So that one sold for $100. Here's another of the sweaters that sold for $60. Here's a Nutcracker one. I'm going to go ahead and actually open this for you, but they're very intricate designs. So if you do come across these, this is actually really good brand to be able to pick up, whether it's Christmas or for another time of the year. And that's what that tag looks like on the inside. So it does have a little house, and it says exclusively for the Home Shopping Network. And this is a 3X. That is another pro tip there, that those bigger sizes do really well. Now, if you come across ugly Christmas sweaters and they're maybe not necessarily in perfect condition, or they're maybe not quite the right brand, or whatever, you just don't want to deal with them. I see a lot of sellers are doing this where they're lumping them together, putting them in lots. So this is a lot of 23 that was sold for $89. Here's another 100 pounds. So they just did it as poundage and then sold that for $300. Here's some more here where a best offer was accepted. Actually, think I did pull this up. These are selling. So I did pull this up in Terapeak. And you kind of see what some of these lots are going for. So around $60 to $70 for those lots of around 25 sweaters. So depending on how much you can pick those up for, it could be worth it. So vintage Avon. This is another one where you're going to see ornaments. You're going to see nativity sets. So $60, $75. They do have some, villages like that. But these nativity sets, like easily $75. Here's another nativity. Little fountain there. It looks like some ornaments here. So this is a 15 box set. That one sold for $105 for that set of ornaments. Another nativity, that one sold for $150 from Avon. All right, next item is a Christmas story. These are pieces for a holiday village. This has got to be one of the best Christmas movies out there. Everybody remembers the leg lamp. So this is from Department 56. All of these pieces that you're going to see here for this set are Department 56, and this is those leg lamps, and this one sold for $409.99. This is that scene where the bullies in the alley and that fight that takes place. This piece sold for $449. And if you can come across these, they're not too common. Here's another one. This is the elementary school. That one sold for $75. Here's the Christmas tree with them decorating that tree. That one sold for $160. So again, all of these are from Department 56. And these that are shown here are in that pre-owned condition. This is another item to be aware of this holiday season. I did put in trains and then holidays, but anything, train themed during this holiday season is going to sell more. It's going to be a little bit more popular just for train sets. And so for all of these, like this Thomas and Friends one sold for $89, almost $90. Here's a Holiday Express. That's a Christmas set that sold for $170 for that train set. We've got 4 add-on trains for that. It looks like a best offer was accepted on that, so it's hard to say on that one. Here's a Hawthorne Village. That one sold for $45. This is a Disney train set. This one sold for $125. You can see there's Mickey, there's Pluto, there's all the characters in there in that train set. So $125 for this piece. So anything, if you come across any of these holiday themed trains or just trains in general, they can sell really well during this time of the year. Here's another actually Precious Moments. So that's interesting. So $80 for that one. There's that Christmas one. And then lastly, I've got Nutcrackers for you. So these are Nutcrackers, and again, I did filter these down to show only pre-owned as well as items that sold for over that $50 mark. So one of the most common brands that you're going to see is actually this Steinbach, and so this is a very common maker for these Nutcrackers. And so when you scroll through here, you're going to see multiple from this designer that were made by that Steinbach. Here's another one that sold for 72. Here's that Radco. We talked about that earlier, designer. So that's another one there that sold from that. Here's another Steinbach. That one sold for $65. And I'll go ahead and see if I can show you what that looks like for the marking on that. This is one here where it does have a paper tag and it's not just stamped into that. So that's what that looks like. And the last tip that I have for you is to do, have fun with the research. So I just came in here, put in Christmas, and then this is in all categories. So I didn't filter it down to any sort of category. I did come in and put in $50 for a minimum price, and then as well as that used condition. But it's fun to just see all of the items that are selling. So there's another Department 56. Fire truck, here's a Raggedy Ann doll. This looks maybe handmade. It's a one of a kind, $295. You're going to see a lot of jewelry that comes back when you put in holiday or when you put in Christmas. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure if that's somewhere in the listing. Here's another Department 56, but this is going to be a really good way to be able to get more ideas of things that sell. Like here's another, this one sold for $225. You're going to see that Christopher Radco there in the name. Here's another Hallmark keepsake ornament. This one sold for $52. These are things that just sold since I filmed this video or went through those items just a little bit ago. Here's some more Christmas elves. That one sold for $67. Here's some carolers that sold for almost $100. Here's a cathedral that's $129. But just go through here, get some ideas for what is selling. Like here's this little Christmas tree. You would never imagine something like that would sell for $85. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up as well as subscribe to the channel because I've got more amazing reseller content headed your way. Thanks for watching and see you soon.